Division III coaches. Joining me first from the four-time defending state champions, Ben Bertrand. Welcome, Ben.
Hey, Coach. Thank you all for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Oh, man, look, we're so impressed with what you've done over there. Your counterpart joining me tonight is going to be Coach Brandon Surrency of Archbishop Shaw High School. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Nice to be here.
All right, man. Look, we appreciate the time. I know this is a busy week for you guys. I'm going to start off with Coach Ben, man. You know, I don't know who I was speaking to earlier this year, but they told me about the tournament they went to at Basile, and they were just talking about how the whole town showed up and all the great support that you guys got. It might have even been Coach Surrency talking about it, but tell me about it, man. Tell me about the support you've gotten from the community.
Oh, it's outstanding. I think whoever told you that was right. I think the whole town really was at the tournament that day. We had a lot of support throughout the week. We had a meeting about a month before the tournament with parents and just really the Booster Club and anybody who was really involved. And we had so many people show up and volunteer to do this and do that. And I think everybody wanted to cook. They wanted to show the teams from different areas of the state how we throw it down in the kitchen in Southwest Louisiana. So hopefully they enjoyed that. I really appreciate everybody coming out, like I said, from all areas of the state. And I think we had a good tournament. We had some technical difficulties with track and our Wi-Fi a little bit at one point, but we worked through it. And it ended up being a really a good time and a rowdy crowd, that's for sure.
Yeah, look, Coach, I don't think anybody's going to butt heads with you guys when it comes to cooking competitions. You got that one. But, Coach, let me ask you this. I got back to Brother Martin in 2010, and, man, sometimes you need a special wrestler to build a team around to get them going on a run. And I was fortunate. I had a senior named Jared Roman who won a state championship for us, and then I had Paul Klein come in. And everybody knows what Paul Klein did for Brother Martin. Man, you guys, one of my favorite Louisiana wrestlers ever was Gavin Christ. And what did he do to kind of spark this run for you guys and get you headed in that direction of believing you can win this thing?
Man, he was a real spark plug. I'll say this. I wasn't the head coach during his time here. My first year out of college was the year after he graduated. But I was around the program, and Coach Brian McCoy, who was the head coach at the time, said that Gavin was the reason they started going to tournaments all over the state. He just wanted to work so hard, and he wanted to wrestle everybody. He didn't care if you were a defending state champion in D1 and whether they be from Brother Martin or Jesuit or anywhere. He would challenge people at tournaments and be like, look, let's go wrestle exhibition right now, me and you. I just want to see how I stack up. And they'd be like thinking he's kind of, like, no, man, I don't want to do that. But that's just the type of kid he was. He was so competitive that he kind of put that into the rest of our kids as well. And our wrestlers today still, they learned a lot, obviously, of technique and more so about work ethic from Gavin. And I don't see him as often as I would like to because he's moved away now and he's doing his own thing. He's doing really well. But I think we still can learn a lot from Gavin. A kid like that, having him in your program is just so special, and it doesn't happen more than once or twice in a lifetime.
Yeah, no, and look, he really put Basile High School on the wrestling map. He did. So you guys have won 4 state titles in a row. You come into this year's tournament on paper, you're the underdog this year, with Coach Surrency's team being the favorite. So how do you get your team ready to come in as the underdog when they've won the last 4 years?
Well, first off, I just want to say I think Coach Surrency and Shaw are doing such a good job. They're a great addition to our division as far as competition-wise, and we welcome the competition. And it might be a little more competition than we bargained for, being that we're the underdog now. But we just try to tell our kids to treat it like any other year. When you step on the mat, you just go out and give it the best you can. And if it doesn't fall in your favor, it's not the end of the world. There's a lot of life lessons that can be learned, obviously, throughout the sport of wrestling when you're winning and when you're losing. So whatever happens this weekend, I hope that our kids can understand that they are still champions, and maybe not on the mat. We don't know what's going to happen, but if you go out there and give it your best shot and put your best foot forward and leave it all out there, then you're a champion, at least in my book. And hopefully, like I said, they understand that. But we look forward to the competition. I think it's going to be a great weekend and a lot of good wrestling.
Yeah, look, and I know Coach Surrency, he state runner-ups last year in Division II. He's coming down. I know he takes nothing for granted. So, Coach, what are you doing this week to prepare for your team? Now they're going in as favorites.
Man, I wouldn't call us the favorites. You just said this guy won 4 in a row. We feel like we're still the underdogs here. We're going to embrace that kind of role, I feel like. But, no, every day we're getting in the room, obviously tapering down a little bit as we're coming to state, staying fresh, going through mental exercises, all those things necessary to kind of prepare yourself in the state tournament, drilling situationals, different things like that, watching film, scouting, doing those necessary things to put a positive game plan together. Got to give my hats off to Coach. 4 in a row is a big accomplishment. They've done a great job there. We've been in D2, so I haven't actually got to see Basile too much. So I've always heard the crowd cheered every time they win one. So
that's for sure. So, Coach, I've been super impressed with your 106-pounder this year. He kind of sets the table for you guys. I remember talking to him before he wrestled Rosas in the Louisiana Classic semifinals, and he was real matter of fact. He goes, yeah, this guy pinned me real quick the other night. He goes, but I'm not afraid. I'm going to go out there and wrestle. What has he done coming into your program, kind of sparking your team this year?
Tough kid, Caden Judice, wrestler as a kids club guy, travels around the nation in off season, always looking to be competitive and push himself to be the best wrestler he can be. So in the room, he's a go hard guy every single day. I got to slow him down a little bit sometimes, especially coming up with state. But a great kid. He's definitely going to be a solid foundation part as we continue to build this program over the next few years.
All right, so we're going to pull up the seeds, the Division III seeds. So this is 106 through 152. Coaches, any surprises, anything jump out, any matchups you can point out for me that we need to really keep a close eye on? Coach Ben, I'll let you go first. Anything you see?
First thing I see is a lot of parity. There's a lot of 1 seeds from different schools. I know when we get to those quarterfinal, semifinal matchups, there's going to be some tough wrestling. I know in the 120-pound weight class, Yearby from Evangel and Caballero from St. Louis, they had a great match in the finals at our tournament, and it was really exciting. So I'm looking forward to potentially seeing that. I don't know if we will. Other than that, let's see.
And look, I'm going to interrupt you, Coach, or stop you there. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about De La Salle. Okay, they have a legitimate shot, probably coming here as a co-favorite with Shaw. And Coach has done a great job over there. Coach Cerncy, talk about the De La Salle kids you see as number 1 seeds here at 13, 20, and 26.
Great wrestling team over there. Coach Hillman's done a phenomenal job. Dylan Duvernay, he's beat us a couple times this year at 113. So great wrestler. Their 120-pound wrestler, Shane Barbarian, he cut all the way down from 138, so he's a big kid. So no, their 70 is really good too. He's been out a little bit with an injury, but definitely a quality wrestler. The 82 Crail, also really good. And I have to say the 220-pound bracket, I know we're not looking at that yet, but the 220-pound bracket's another one where they have that kid, Austin Young, who's a 5 seed, but he is really, really good. So I think they definitely have some guys who can slip into the finals.
Yeah, look, it looks like it's going to be a really exciting tournament. Both of you guys have done a great job getting your kids positioned this year to make a run at their respective championships. One other kid, though, I have to talk about is 152-pounder, Louisiana Classic champion Luke Johnson. He's been super impressive this year. Talk about him, Coach.
Oh, man, he's just a great kid. He's a 4.0 student. He's the hardest worker we have. And I think that's saying something when the guy who's had the most success on your team, kind of like Gavin Chris a few years ago, is the guy who really pushes everybody else in the room to be better. He's not the most vocal kid, but he's got a quiet confidence about him that kind of inspires the people around him. and he just cares so much. And we asked him we ask a lot of him. He dropped to 145 for state because we thought that we could put a better lineup out there if he was able to do that. And of course, when I talked to him, the first thing he said was, "Coach, I'll do whatever the team needs me to do." Like, that's the type of kid he is. And that's how all of our kids are. They really are team players. They don't really treat it as an individual sport. It's what can I do to help the team succeed? And that's why I love it over here.
Yeah, look, you guys are both a credit to your programs. Enjoy this week. Enjoy the tournament. Every year is a once-in-a-lifetime experience for you and your team. You guys are young coaches who are going to be around forever. Currency, I'm not so sure about the hair, man. You might want to lay it down a little bit for this weekend. But, look, best of luck to both of y'all. Look forward to not only interviewing you guys, but talking to your kids after your tournament. We'll see you guys soon.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank y'all again for having me.
You're welcome. All right, I'm going to welcome back now Coach DePalma.